Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe, tap on the like button, and feel free to be part of the comment squad by sharing your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now today I welcome you to a fascinating exploration of the connection between sunlight, DNA, and the physical composition of living organisms. Now in this video we are going to take a look into the concept of carbon-7 and its significance for the next 2,150 years. A brother in this video reviews how sunlight directly determines the biological composition of DNA, influencing how organisms function on our planet. Now, it also sheds light on the current composition of black people as carbon-12 and how this relates to the mysterious code of 666. So with that said, join me as he unravels the intricate relationships between sunlight, nitrogen, and carbon and discover the profound implications for our understanding of physical reality and the universe. With that said, check out his video. I will be right back.
Alright, we're going to talk about carbon-7. I touched on this a little bit on my channel. If you don't know what carbon-7 is the new molecular formula that all physical organisms must be able to undergo this change for the next 2,160 years. Now, if you don't know, physical reality is predicated upon electromagnetic waves that are emitted by radio frequencies, specifically the radio frequency found in the first spectrum of the sun. Now, this electromagnetic frequency determines physical reality through density. Now, depending upon how dense you are, plays a part on your height, size, width, etc. Everything about your being is determined by your density. So it's just like when you're in the ocean. The lower you go down, the more pressure in the water because of more density is. But also the bigger the creatures are, the more different their characteristics are. There's less light. So it's different functions within the cryptochromes of the eyes of the creatures. It's just a different variation of organism because they're either out or less or exposed to less sunlight, or when they're exposed to more sunlight, they're more colorful, they're more agile, they're smaller, they move faster. So the point I'm trying to make is sunlight directly determines the physical, biological composition of the DNA of an organism, which determines how that organism will come out and function in its atmosphere, aka on its planet or its realm, whether it's a land animal, a ground animal, a water animal, a fucking cave animal, whatever. So with that being said, we're dealing with black people. Black people right now, for the last 2,160 years, have been atomically composed of what is called carbon-12. Now this is when everybody like to say 666, right? And let me give y'all the science if you don't know how carbon-12 is, because I say melanin is condensed sunlight all the time. Let me give y'all anatomically the formula of how melanin is condensed sunlight so that you can understand where carbon-7 is coming from. Rays from the sun come from outer space and they penetrate the atmosphere. And what happens is these rays come in contact with nitrogen-14 and nitrogen-12. Now once these sun rays come in contact with nitrogen-14 and nitrogen-12, the nitrogen-14 and nitrogen-12, once combined with this electromagnetic, with the electromagnetic rays from the sun, combust and become carbon-14. So sunlight, melanin is not only condensed sunlight, sunlight literally solidifies as it enters into the atmosphere and creates carbon-12. So 99.9% of all physical matter in the universe is carbon-12, because once nitrogen in all atmospheres comes in contact with sunlight, it condenses and combusts and becomes carbon-12. So now why is it important? The sun is heating up, alright? And the motherfucking sun, I can't say this enough, is hotter right now than it's ever been in recorded history. Motherfucking, there's no snow outside, okay? It's November 24th. It's about to be December. There's no motherfucking snow in Buffalo. We one of the coldest cities in the country. So y'all keep thinking it's a game. So with that being said, what's happening is the photons from the sun, not a proton, because a lot of y'all think I'm saying proton. No, photons. Photons are pure light. Photons are matter and antimatter combined, which is only found on the tip end of a sun ray. So photon is the purest form of light. So a photon would be like a motherfucking lightsaber if it was physical. So with that being said, the photons from the sun are so motherfucking hot that as the sun rays are coming in contact with nitrogen now, it's a different frequency and a different density. So now the carbon is becoming radioactive, and radioactive just means when an atom is unstable. Now when an atom becomes unstable, in order to stabilize itself, it has to give away an electron. But the photons now are so hot, there's no chemical element in our atmosphere that can actually sustain that radiation. So in order for the atoms to become radioactive now, they have to give away neutrons, So if you deal with chemistry, you know that that's motherfucking unheard of. You ain't never, that's like hearing about a motherfucker legs transforming where his arms is and his arms going where his goddamn legs. That's some unheard of shit. So what's happening is carbon 12, which is 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, is giving away 5 neutrons just to be able to sustain itself and become non-radioactive. So what's happening is we're going from carbon 12 to what's chemically deemed carbon 7. Now carbon 7 is 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 1 neutron. Now why is this important and why is this happening? Because the sun, as y'all hear me say over and over, is pulling the 9 planets around the galaxy. It takes us 24,920 years to travel through all 12 zodiac signs. We spend 2,160 years at each zodiac sign. Each zodiac sign is just a star system in a particular, that forms a particular pattern that the sun travels through. And these stars, remember, each star is a sun. These suns are emitting electromagnetic waves, aka heat, upon our planet as we travel through. Now the Aquarian age star system, or the zodiac known as Aquarius, that star spectrum is actually so hot that we have to be at a lighter density to exist within it for the next 2,160 years. So remember, I told you, sunlight that comes into the atmosphere hits nitrogen, and that becomes carbon. But it's no longer becoming carbon 12, it's becoming carbon 7. So what's happening is everything on the planet Earth is becoming atomically recomposed. So the age of Aquarius is what? They call it the age of spiritual enlightenment, the age of spirituality. Your Kundalini chakra system, your 7 main chakras, the lower 6 from your third eye and down, because you remember your 7th chakra is your crown chakra, that's neutral. Your third eye and down, your 6 chakras, are ruled by the left hemisphere of your body, which is electrons, aka feminine energy. The other half of the 6 chakras is ruled by your right side of your body, which is protons, which is masculine energy. So you have 6 chakras. Half of the 6 chakras is ruled by electrons, half of the other 6 chakras is ruled by protons, and then you have the one neutral chakra, which is the crown chakra, which is a neutron. So carbon 7 is actually the physical molecular formula for the spirit to be housed in a new biological system that we call the body. So when we talk about evolution, there is no evolution in the terms that motherfuckers think we come from monkeys. Evolution is predicated biologically upon light. Depending upon what spectrum of light you live in, your body will biologically recompose itself in order to fit that existence. Period. If you went to go live in the motherfucking, when we talk about giants and motherfuckers being on the earth, why we don't see that today? Because their air pressure is different. When motherfuckers want to talk about dinosaurs and shit like that, why nobody never say, damn, what was the oxygen level? Because if you go check the oxygen level millions of years ago, it was more dense. So shit was bigger. Now it's lighter. Shit is smaller. I'll give you an example. When my older cousins was in 8th grade, high schoolers looked like college students. They had beards, all kinds of shit. When I got to motherfucking 8th grade, high schoolers looked like me. Now, high schoolers look like goddamn 5th graders. So why is this important? Because as generations and generations and generations are coming out of the womb of our black women, they're coming out with more density in their DNA. Each DNA strand is activated by a density of light. So for every one density level, you get 2 strands activated. This is why when I say the white man only has 2 strands of DNA, it's because he can't get past the first level of density. Anything other than that gives his ass sun cancer. Okay? We have 24 strands of DNA in 12 pairs. So with that being said, right now black people have a minimum of 10 strands available to them because we're being elevated into a 5th dimension. 5th dimension is what? An angle of light, another density level that we're getting from the age of Aquarius. So with that being said, driving back to my point, carbon 7, age of Aquarius, when your soul is supposed to have more free will to express itself, it's because it will be less imprisoned. Right now our body is at a certain density level where our soul can only do so much. As we become lighter, aka light beings, our light self, aka our true self, which is the electromagnetic charge extension of the solar system, hence solar plexus, which houses the spirit. This is why when you get hit right here, feel like all your fucking your life force left out. That's because it did. So that being said, our light bodies are actually becoming more present on this realm. So black people are actually biologically metamorphing as we motherfucking speak.
Now, a brother in this video has presented a fascinating and thought-provoking discussion on the connection between sunlight, DNA, and the physical composition of living organisms. His explanation of how sunlight determines the biological composition of DNA and how this affects the functioning of organisms on our planet offers a fresh and intriguing perspective on the intricate relationships between our environment and our biology. The concept of carbon-7 and its predicted role in the next 2,150 years is particularly captivating, as it suggests a fundamental shift in the molecular structure of physical organisms. Now, the speaker's argument that sunlight is the driving force behind this change and that it has been shaping the composition of living beings for centuries challenges conventional understanding of evolution and adaptation. Moreover, the connection made between carbon-12 and the Code of 666 is a controversial and intriguing aspect of the discussion. While some may view this as a speculative or even sensational claim, it undoubtedly adds a layer of complexity and mystery to the conversation. Overall, I feel this video offers compelling and thought-provoking exploration of the interconnectedness of our universe and encourages us to consider the profound implications of sunlight in our biology and our planet. Now, while some ideas may be controversial or require further investigation, this video undoubtedly sparks the imagination and inspires a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of relationships that govern our world. Now, carbon, non-metallic chemical element in group 14 of the periodic table. Although widely distributed in nature, carbon is not particularly plentiful. It makes up only about 0.025% of Earth's crust, yet it forms more compounds than all the other elements combined. In 1961, the isotope carbon-12 was selected to replace oxygen as the standard relative to which the atomic weights of all the other elements are measured. Carbon-14, which is radioactive, is the isotope used in radiocarbon dating and radiolabeling. Now, on a weight basis, carbon is 19th in order of elemental abundance in Earth's crust, and there is esteemed to be 3.5 times as many carbon atoms as silicon atoms in the universe. Only hydrogen, helium, oxygen, neon, and nitrogen are automatically more abundant in the cosmos than carbon. Carbon is a cosmic product of the burning of helium, in which 3 helium nuclei or atomic weight 4 fuse to produce a carbon nucleus atomic weight 12. In the crust of Earth, elemental carbon is a minor component. However, carbon components such as carbonates of magnesium and calcium form common minerals like magnesite, dolomite, marble, or limestone. Coral and the shells of oysters and clams are primarily calcium carbonate. Carbon is widely distributed as core and in the organic compounds that constitute petroleum, natural gas, and all plant and animal tissue. A natural sequence of chemical reactions called the carbon cycle, involving conversion of atmospheric carbon dioxide to carbohydrates by photosynthesis in plants, the consumption of these carbohydrates by animals, and oxidation of them through metabolism to produce carbon dioxide and other products, and the return of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere is one of the most important of all biological processes. Carbon as an element was discovered by the first person to handle charcoal from fire. Thus, together with sulfur, iron, tin, lead, copper, mercury, silver, and gold, carbon was one of the small group of elements well known in the ancient world. Now, modern carbon chemistry dates from the development of coals, petroleum, and natural gas as fuels and from the elucidation of synthetic organic chemistry, both substantially developed since the 1800s. Elemental carbon exists in several forms, each of which has its own physical characteristics. Now, 2 of its well-defined forms, diamond and graphite, are crystalline in structure, but they differ in physical properties because the arrangements of the atoms in their structures are dissimilar. Now, a brother's discussion on the significance of sunlight, carbon, and DNA is a fascinating exploration of the intricate relationships between our environment and our biology. While some ideas may seem unconventional, they are actually supported by scientific evidence and theoretical frameworks. For instance, the concept of carbon-7 may seem revolutionary, but it's actually rooted in the understanding of carbon's versatility and ability to form complex molecules. Research has shown that carbon can form a wide range of allotropes, including diamond, graphite, and fullerenes, each with unique properties. Moreover, the speaker's emphasis on sunlight's role in shaping DNA is supported by studies of epigenetics, and the influence of environmental factors on gene expression. Light exposure has been shown to affect circadian rhythms, gene regulation, and even DNA repair mechanisms. The connection between carbon-12 and the code-66 may seem symbolic, but it's actually grounded in the understanding of carbon's atomic structure and its role in biological systems. Carbon-12 is a stable isotope that forms the basis of life on Earth, and its unique properties have been extensively studied in fields like organic chemistry and biochemistry. Now, carbon's unique properties: carbon has the ability to form long chains and complex rings, making it an ideal element for life. Sunlight is essential for photosynthesis, the process by which plants produce energy and organic compounds. Research has shown that environmental factors can influence gene expression and be passed on to future generations. Light exposure regulates our internal clocks, affecting physiological processes like sleep, hormone production, and metabolism. Organisms have adapted to their environments in response to sunlight, leading to diverse forms and functions. Biochemistry and carbon-12. Carbon-12 is a fundamental component of biomolecules, including sugars, amino acids, and nucleotides. We have finally come to the end of the video. What do you have to say? Share your thoughts as well in the comment section. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.